this is the plan for this video. I have a sort of game layout here. There's a video linked below, and there'll be a link someplace else in one of the cards, where I show how I made this level, and it's basically sort of a kind of long rant. And I cut that out of this video just to get to the sort of mechanics of what I want to achieve today. Um, but all of that's in the sort of the other video that came out today with this one. So what are we doing today? Well, I have this character here that I'm going to add some locomotion script to move him from left to right, but I also want to add a mechanic where when we press the space bar, it inverts the gravity. So this is very similar to a game called 6Vs by Terry Cavanagh, which is vvvvvv. Is that 6? Yeah. Um, and I like the mechanic, and I wondered how easy it would be to do in Unity, and I think it should be fairly easy to do in Unity. Although I did notice that I've made a mistake here. I need to rectify that. Actually, no, I don't. That should be okay. You just can't get out that way. It looks like you can get out that way. You just can't. So yeah, so I'm gonna have a play around with this today, and then we'll see what we get from it. Okay, so the first thing to do is we want to be able to move the character left and right. So I'm going to add a script to do that. And oh yeah, there's there's a script in here from Toxic Fork that we'll get to in the other video, but we're not going to mention in this video because that's excuse for you to go and see the other video. And we'll call this locomotion. So we'll do locomotion. We also want another script here called touch block, and I guess we probably want another game controller script here as well. And game controller, okay. So our locomotion script, our locomotion script is going to be very, very, very simple. It is just going to be it's very simple, but I can never think about how I can start these things. Okay, so let's do var xdiff equals input dot get axis horizontal times time dot delta time times speed. Float speed equals 10. Let's call it 10 just now, and then we'll say it's going to be transform dot position plus equals vector 2 dot right times xdiff. But that's really bad because we don't want to do that. We actually want to get the rigid body. So if we do rigid body 2D, and we'll call that rigid body, and we'll do void awake RB equals get component rigid body 2D. So again, we're wanting to get this on off the bat, so to speak. We want to be able to have access to this, and then we're going to do rb.add force xdiff comma force mode impulse. Now we probably that would be vector 2 dot right times xdiff. Maybe we want to say if xdiff is less than 0.1 turn, like we don't want to do anything. If that's changed, let's see how that works, how it feels. And again, a lot of this is just coming down to how it feels. If you're looking for the starter version of this, you need to go to GitHub, and the branch you want is starter, and that's got all the the code and everything, all the art, everything like that is all in there. This video, I'll put up the completed version of it, but it'll be in its own branch as well. And then the master branch will have the sort of, oh yeah, once again, player, and then I want to add locomotion to that as well. So I want to add my locomotion script there. Okay. And so we move left and right. Not so much for that one. So he's moving left, but not right. He's moving right, but not left, I should say. Oh, right, okay, that's why. Did we? That would be abs dot, that would be mathf dot abs. That. So if we're not moving beyond that, then we don't want to do anything. And then we want to say if rb dot velocity dot x is greater than the maximum velocity, so float max vel equals 5. I want to say rb var temp equals dot velocity, rb temp dot x equals max velocity, rb dot velocity equals temp, return. So we don't want to add force if we're already doing the maximum. And again, we're going to have to test and make sure what the maximum is. Again, this is just kind of eyeballing it. Okay, that you know what? That's, oh, it goes really fast in that direction though. Because I've done it again. That would be mathf dot abs. So if he's going at the maximum speed in any direction, that's what ABS does. It just says if it's negative, it just makes it positive number. So if you put in -1, then it'll return 1. If you put in 1, it returns 1. All right, so that's our locomotion. Ordering is we grab the x-axis, we check to see if the player has actually put in a value. Probably don't need that. In fact, let's just take it out just now, see what it does. We want to check and see if the velocity is excuse me, is greater than the maximum value, and if it is, then we want to clamp that maximum value, but only on the x-axis, which is what this bit here does. We can't change this directly because if we do that, then it's a struct, and it's we can't change that particular value on it. We need to make a copy of it first. And then afterwards, we're going to add the force to it. Add the force. So let's see if that works. Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why that did that. But let's just leave it in. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Okay. Oh no, he's bouncing that way again. But not that way. What is going on? Okay, so that's not the culprit. Okay. That's why. So we need to know the direction of that. So that is going to be times mathf dot sine x diff, because we need to know the direction that he's going. So if the player is traveling in the left direction, that's negative, and if he's traveling in the positive direction, that's the right direction, that's positive. So the value that they're moving at, we need to multiply that by the sine. So we need to know what direction they're traveling in. So that's, I'm not explaining that very well. I'll come back to it in just a sec once we've proven it. So we go this way, then they shouldn't start bouncing back and forth. So that's good. Okay. That's quite nice. He goes behind the sign. Gives a bit of depth to it as well. Okay, so going back to this, we check to see if the value, the absolute value, is greater than the maximum velocity. And if it is, we assign it the maximum velocity, but we multiply it by the direction. And we get the direction by the sign. So the sign will return either -1 for heading left or 1 for heading right. And that means that's why it was doing that kind of bouncy thing, is that it was always going to the maximum velocity in the opposite direction when we were heading left. So this line here, this part of it stops that. Okay, so that is our locomotion. The next thing we need to do is we need to get our sprite to be able to change the gravity. Now, the way we'll do that is we'll use the jump button, which is usually the fire button in most games. In fact, I'm going to move the sprite over to here, and that's good enough, so that he's starting the game sort of at this position over here. And so you can see, like, he's bouncing into walls and whatever. So how are we going to achieve the mechanic? Well, it turns out if we go to project settings, physics 2D, and then we see in here that the gravity, the physics 2D settings, is set to minus 9.81, which is 9.81 meters per second, which is what gravity is. If I change that to a positive value, watch what happens to the little guy. Bloop. He goes up to the top. So what we can do is, and I've no idea if this is going to break things in Unity, but we'll try and change it at runtime and see what happens. So I'm going to create another script here, and it's going to be called gravity changer. Okay, and the gravity changer is going to need a sprite renderer, sprite, and oh, it's done it again. Okay. So my IntelliSense has died on me. Get component sprite renderer, and we'll say if input dot get button down fire 1 sprite dot flip y equals not sprite dot flip y. Now, if I remember rightly, that is the correct thing to write. No, it is not. It does not contain a definition for flip y. So what is it? So flip x and flip y. Okay, so I'm going to have to close down Visual Studio and then try again. So let's fire up gravity changer script. Okay, there we go. Yes, I am enjoying Visual Studio. Thanks for asking. So it's going to be flip. Oh, there you go. Flip y equals not flip y. Okay, that was close. I just capitalized it. So now, when I press the A button, nothing happens because again, I keep forgetting to add the script to the player. So we have gravity changer. Okay, so there's our gravity changer. So when I press the A button, boop, the player flips upside down, which is great. So we're halfway there. We just need to be able to change the gravity. So I think what we can do is we can say var temp equals physics 2d dot gravity temp dot y times equals -1 physics 2d dot gravity equals tmp. And there is a getter and a setter against that. So my hope is that this will just work and we won't break everything, but we'll see. Who knows? Okay, so now we press A. Ooh. And now he's walking on the ceiling, and we press A, and he does that. And there we go. And that. Perfect. Whee! There you go. Almost there. Okay. So on the grid we have so that's the mechanic. if all you're interested in is the mechanic, is thanks for watching. Thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. If you want to stick around and watch me finish this game, then yeah, you should probably do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do it when I collide over here. Now this is the tricky bit because I've not done any tile map stuff. And so you'll probably end up shouting at me if you've done some tile map things in the past. However, I'm going to plow on and do some tile map stuff. So that's what I'm going to do just now. I do want to, so this is the tile map. I'm going to change this to room blocks because I also want to have another 2D object here, and then this is going to be a tile map. As his voice goes, oh, tile map, can I break now, please? And then this tile map is going to be pickup block. And if I go to room blocks and tile palette, I have this one over here, but I actually don't want that to exist in there. I want it to exist. If I show you this here, if you go to pickup block, I want it to exist there. So I want that block to be in pickup block. So if you, so that's the room blocks there, and then pickup block is here. Okay, so I just need to find out though, I think I can use tile map, like see how it touches there. I think I can find out from the player if they've touched the block, and if they have touched the block, oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, he's standing on top of the door now. Woo, what happened there? So I think we should be able to figure out if they're touching this block, and if they are, we can remove it maybe. So that's the gravity changer. let's see if we can pick up a block. So let's have another script here. Actually, what was the one? Touch block, that's the one. And public tile map. Was it tile map? Tile map, there you go. And this is going to be pick up blocks. If pick up blocks dot let's do var block equals pick up blocks dot get tile. Okay, so let me do var player cell position equals pickup blocks dot world to cell. Oh, this is almost too easy. Transform dot position, because we're going to attach this to our player. And then I'm going to say get the tile at player cell pause. If block is not equal to null, print yeah hit something. And then this time we will add it to the player. Now again, I don't want to stress this too much, but the locomotion script moves the player. The gravity changer script changes the gravity. The two are not related, and neither is touch block. So it is best not to have these things cross-pollinate against each other. So locomotion only deals with player movement, gravity changer only deals with the gravity change, and touch block is the only job is to touch the block. Okay. I do need to set that up to be the pickup block though. So that's my bad. So I can set that there and go to here and then go down to here and then see what happens when we get to the console. Boom! Yeah, hit something. All right, okay. So it worked. So that's good. So if it's not equal to null, I want to say pickup blocks dot set tile. No, not get dot set tile. And then it's that position, so it's going to be player cell pos, and then I want to set that to be null. And I also need to figure out how to engage the so go down to here. Boom, you picked it up. Awesome. So now what we need to do is we need to be able to signal this somehow. So I'm going to have a game controller, and the game controller is going to be public int number of keys equals 1. So there's going to be a key to pick up, and then I'm going to have another value in here called public void pick up key, number of keys minus minus. If number of keys is less than or equal to 0, unlock the room. And then if number of keys equals 0, return just in case. Void unlock the room. So we're going to unlock the room here, and the way we unlock the room is I'm going to have a public tile map locked door, and again, we need to have, and so we have a locked door there, and then we need to do locked door dot enabled equals false. So we just turn it off. That's all we do. Just turn it off. And we clean it up by doing that. And then we're going to add an empty game object, which I'm going to place at 0, 0, 0. And it's going to be called game controller. And I'm going to add game controller. And the number of keys that we need to unlock is 1, and the locked door is none. So we have our locked door. So there's our locked door there. And we also need to call this from our exit, our player pickup tile. So if I do touch block and then I do public game controller, game controller dot pick up key. So that picks up the key there. And what else we've got? Game controller pick up key, and then we want to drag the game controller into there. So we've got our little guy. We flip down here, we pick up the object, boom, and that did not work. Why did that not work? Why didn't that work? Pick up key, number of keys equals 0, number of keys, unlock the room, lock door enabled equals false. Oh, wait a minute. Game object dot set active false. Let's turn off the whole thing. I thought disabling it would have done that, but okay. So do this, do that, and pick the object up. Boom, unlocked. And then we go into the door, and then we obviously need to put the player towards the front there. So we're going to do player, and where's the locked door? The locked door is 50, so player has to be 51, I guess. 51. So he's going to be in front of, I mean, we could probably make it 60, but he's going to be in front of the sign now, but it doesn't matter. We can solve that later on. We can put that sign someplace else. But now he's going to be in front of the door there. And then what we can have is, let's finish this off very quickly. We can have a UI that says congratulations. I'll change that to bright white. 2D. There. Okay. Set that to be there, and add canvas group, and the canvas group, the alpha is 0. We also want UI panel. We don't want a background, but we do want the color to be black. Let's make that now. Make that the child of that. Make the panel darker. Okay, and then do that. Okay, and we want to be able to touch the exit. So the way to do that is we'll have another script here called touch exit. And it's going to be the same logic as our touch block. So where's our touch block? So there's a touch block there. So I'm just going to grab that there. And then touch exit, update, don't need that. And this is going to be, we'll need to do this as well. So instead of, need to add that there, that's going to be our exit block. So that's going to be exit block, and if block is not equal to null, end of level. So as soon as they touch that, it becomes end of level. And our game controller here, we're going to have public canvas group, canvas, that'd be public void end of level dot alpha equals 1. So I'm just setting this to be just straight off like that. You could do whatever you want, but that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to do this alpha, set it straight to 1, and show that we've exited the game, or the game's over. Touch exit, and this is the exit block. So we're going to go to our grid, room blocks, exit tile. So we want that exit tile, and then the game controller we want to be there as well. And now when we play the game, so we start off here, you can see our world, and we'll go over to here, drop down here, pick that up, oops, and then go into here. And we haven't set the canvas. There you go. I'm gonna do that. Although, yeah, so that is a bit of a problem. So as soon as they hit the exit tile there, that is a bit of an issue. So I'm gonna go back down to here, and this one here we need to get rid of. So if I go to tile palette, and then exit tile, and I'm going to get rid of this one because that's a bad idea having that there. However, I will put it in the background, just to sort of signal it. Oh, no, that's a bad idea as well. You know what? Let's just create another one. So I'm going to create a 2D object tile map, and this tile map here is going to be exit direction, and it's going to be 1000 because it's going to be way ahead, and exit tile is going to be there because that looks quite nice. So that's not, I don't want it in the exit tile, I want it in exit direction, I want it there. So now the player is going to walk behind it again, because he basically, the little guy hit it, and because it was part of the blocks, because it's part of this exit block, it just tricked it off. See, so that's kind of nice, neat. And we hit that there, and that's us. We've got to the end of the level. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So there you have it. That is the gravity mechanic from vvvvvv. Captain Viridian would be proud, I guess. So yeah, it's a great game. If you haven't played it, it's fantastic. It's so good. It reminds me totally of the Commodore 64, but I guess that's kind of what the aesthetic was going for. So if you like this video, feel free to put thumbs up. If you didn't, then thumbs down. Check out the other video as well. The notes and the link is in the show notes below, as is the link to the code as well, to the GitHub repository. And if you want timely reminders, please feel free to subscribe. My social media contacts are down below as well. I've got a Facebook page and all that kind of stuff that I basically just post up the videos. But if you whatever works, whatever. If you like this video, please share it. That's the most important part of this sort of end bumper. If you get to it, most people don't. They go, oh, there he goes, churning on at the end there. So if you did get to this, congratulations. Thank you very much for watching. And feel free to write the word Sasquatch in the comments below if you did get to this, and that'll be our little secret. Anyway, I'm just making this video go on far too long now. I've been doing this for like an hour, and it's taken me all day to do this video. It's been one technical failure after another. I tried to get my Mac to work. It wouldn't work. In fact, well, it did work, but this mouse here, this old Microsoft mouse that I've got, was actually giving me carpal tunnel syndrome. My wrist was like this. I was actually like this, and I had to go back to. I have a. I don't even see this. I'll just bring that down there. I have this fairly cheap Logitech mouse, which is awesome. It's a great mouse, and it does not give me carpal tunnel syndrome, so that's good. Although while we're on, people were asking what my keyboard is. This is the keyboard that I have. It's just a mechanical keyboard. I didn't know that button did that. But it's very comfortable to type on. If you're thinking of doing this professionally, then get a decent keyboard. You won't regret it at all. I mean, it's no IBM Model M, but it's good enough. It's a lot cheaper than a Model M, that's for sure. Although I really do want a Model M. So yeah, I don't want to get into it too much, but I really want a Model M. So if anyone knows anyone going cheap, that would be great. Anyhow, let's end the video there. I've been talking far too long about this. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing and liking and sharing and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, keep coding, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys. Bye.